It was almost like 1,000 voices reached out in agony at the same time. Oh, Billy Donovan signed a contract extension with the Chicago Bulls for multi-years. Me and Pat are going to discuss that, plus rumors that Nikola Vucevic could be bought out more than traded. We're talking about it all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central's YouTube pages and podcasts. I'm also the guy for everything Chicago sports over on Bleach Report. Just make sure you guys check me out over there as well. Let's go ahead and get into it for today, Pat.
Plug it all. Plug it all.
Listen. That's how I got through 4 kids. With that said, Pat, the designer, Billy Donovan signed a multi-year contract extension with the Chicago Bulls. We heard about this going down about a month ago, but the Bulls actually officially announced it, which is unexpected because keep in mind, Pat, the contract that he's on currently was still never officially announced, but we do know the extension is going to be there. Multi-years, the exact number of years has not been released. How you feeling, Pat?
Well, I think based on what we thought we knew about the contract, right, because of the whole Kentucky thing, he was on the last year of his deal pretty much. So extending him was going to be a conversation no matter what. I think the Knicks blew up the spot. F y'all. Like, just standing F New York in general, but a special F you to the Knicks. Like, that was insane that y'all called while somebody had a job. It was like, hey, can we take that guy that has a job in your organization and like
4 different people? Like, that's the crazy thing.
Wild as heck, bro.
It's
but
like sliding in married women's DMs
that's
all day.
Literally what they did, bro. That's literally what they did. And dare I say, this is the happiest marriage of all. Like, these mothers are not breaking up. As Bulls fans are distraught everywhere. This is one of the marriages where even the kids is like, please break up. Like, y'all, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. But I think, you know, the bottom line on all of this is there was an extension in my mind that I expected to come, especially if, and I think this is the part where it's tough for me, where I see so many people upset. If you wanted Josh Giddey to re-sign here, if you want him to get the money, that situation probably happens more than likely if Billy Donovan is re-signed here. Mm-hmm. Because why would Josh Giddey want to come into a situation where you've got a new head coach, a new system being put in place, maybe not a system that fits his game very well. Right now, Billy's system fits Josh Giddey's game just about perfectly. It's just about getting the dollars about, right? Like, that contract can get done. It's just a matter of $10 million getting figured out. But this is what I expected to happen. I know people are upset about it. The bottom line is there's not that many people you were going to go out there and replace Billy Donovan with. When people are going, this is the worst case scenario. No, the worst case scenario is you fire Billy Donovan, then you hire Mike Budenholzer or Frank Vogel. That's your worst case scenario.
Same guy.
Now, am I sitting here telling you this is the move that I wanted to see? No, I would rather you find a way to find the next young head coach who is the next Taylor Jenkins, or go get Taylor Jenkins. That would be my preference. But when we're talking about this being a bad situation for the Bulls to be in, all of you guys who were excited about the great second half of the season that Josh Giddey had, Billy Donovan was the coach. The step that we saw from modest Buzelis in that part, Billy Donovan was the coach. How much of a role Lyle had to take on and how he actually was pretty good at it, Billy Donovan was the coach. There's all these things that we sit here and come on and talk about how excited we are about what this Bulls team could be. Billy Donovan's been the coach of it. You can't have it both ways.
That's a fact. I mean, no, there's no doubt about that. You can't have it both ways. You can't look at what went right, and that's something that people do a lot when it comes to Billy Donovan. They blame him for everything that goes wrong. And then when things go right, they try to take. And keep in mind, I'm not a Billy Donovan. Me and you've had some heated debates on Billy Donovan. Most people know I'm not a Billy Donovan guy, but I am
and
fair.
Both of us will rejoice the day he's fired.
Like, that's a fact. That's a fact. But you have to be fair. The Bulls' new style of play that is more modern and has fit this roster. You don't get that by happenstance. That's Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
The plan for Modest, we were all frustrated Modest wasn't playing more minutes early, but guess what? Modest came out and said, you know what? No, looking back on it, I can see what they did, and they didn't put on too much on me, and they made me earn it. Guess who came up with that? Billy Donovan was the coach who came up with that. Now, does that mean that we overlook some of the shortcomings of Billy Donovan? No, hell no. But I do think, and I said this over on Central, Pat, and you let me know how you feel about it. I do think that now it seems like, based off what we know so far, they got a lot they need to prove, much like a Kobe and Giddey backcourt. They got to prove they can do it for a full season. But the mix of this coaching staff with Billy Donovan, Wes Unseld, and Dan Craig, I like the mix of coaching philosophies here, and I am kind of interested to see how can they build off on it now with another year, learning these players better, and adding some defenders that you do need too for Wes Unseld. We know Wes Unseld coached the defense, and see what Wes Unseld does with that. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you want to have professional coaches. I'd rather have some more championship coaches on this roster. I'm not going to lie to you. I would love for Mike Budenholzer to be an assistant coach on this team. I would love for Frank Vogel to be an assistant coach on this team. That's how the Warriors keep doing it really well and continue to find winning situations as they put great coaching staffs together. I know we think about that more in football terms than we do in basketball terms. But you do need that. Guess what? The Boston Celtics attribute how they got the championship and their intensity not to Doc Rivers. They say he was a big part of it. He was the leader, and he was the one that knew how to fire everybody up. But it was Tom Thibodeau that coached up that defense and made them one of the best. No, they were the best defense in basketball that year. So, was my bottom line when I talked about this on Chicago Bulls Breeze, Haize. Like, no matter what, Billy Donovan is not a bad enough head coach that we can overlook the roster building that is going on here. Right? Like, if you're Jim Boylan, it don't matter. I could give you a championship roster. You'll find a way to F it up. Right? Jim Boylan can mess up a wet dream. Like, he's just that kind of coach. You need top-tier talent to win in the NBA, no matter what. Let me ask y'all this, everybody in the chat and you. Are we in agreement? Greg Popovich, probably greatest NBA head coach of all time?
Yeah.
Greg Popovich didn't get out of the first round since 2017 because the talent wasn't there. And on one of those teams, because people are going to come, Pat, he had Zach, he had Vooch, he had DeMar. He had De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, and LaMarcus Aldridge, and couldn't get out of the Western Conference first round.
When did Pop have De'Aaron Fox?
Huh? Not De'Aaron Fox. I'm sorry. Who was old boy that was in got traded to Atlanta? I tweaked on that one. Oh my God. Why am I blanking on his name? We wanted him here. Him and Zach are best friends.
Oh, DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray, I'm sorry. He had DeJounte Murray, DeMar DeRozan, and LaMarcus Aldridge and couldn't get out the first round. He's the greatest NBA head coach of all time. He also hasn't won more than 35 games in 6 years. He's the greatest NBA head coach of all time. Talent matters. Bottom line. You give Billy Donovan top-tier talent, guess what? He could take it to the Western Conference Finals. He did Western Conference Finals. Will he win your NBA championship? I don't know about that. I don't think so. But the everything is Billy's fault is a crazy mindset to have, and it's why I'm not that upset about the extension if the players pan out.
And I think that I do think that re-signing of Billy Donovan kind of points to that. AK and Eversley do look at this roster as not being in you know me. I firmly believe once the Bulls feel like they have a roster, that they get the roster to a point and they're like, well, hell, it's not the roster, so it's Billy. You got to go. That's when Billy's going to leave. But we got a long way to go before we get there. And that's not to say, again, that I don't think Billy should leave. Again, I'm going to rejoice when we do fire Billy Donovan. But again, one thing I'm not going to be is unfair and turn a blind eye to things. And I kind of realized where we are. This extension didn't surprise me at all.
It didn't change anything for me either. Listen, Haize, if we had Anthony Edwards on the roster, I'd be like, this is the dumbest thing you could have ever done. And we're winning 32 games. Ain't no Ant-Man on this roster. It's not a John Moran on this roster. Heck, there's not even a Trae Young chucking up 60 shots a game on this roster. You got to get to that point. You got to build that up.
You mean we have Javon Carter, Pat? How dare you?
I will drive to where you are. And
We have Javon Carter. How dare
Javon
you?
Carter?
How dare you, Pat?
That'll be one of them fights where it's like I had to do it. It's not even I want to, but off principle, we got to make this happen. Nah, man, it's just I think that part of it where people have kind of like taken this to the like this is the worst thing that the Bulls ever could have done. It's not. It's a regular extension. It's one that we all expected. It's not one that's the end of the world.
Yeah,
Mike Budenholzer would have been the end of the world. I'd have had to drive up to the United Center and fought somebody.
that is hilarious. Mike would have fought with you.
Oh yeah, Mike's scrap. I love it.
Yeah, he definitely would scrap with you.
He out of shape though.
But with that said, now we're going to talk about the expectations of the Chicago Bulls coaching staff. Now that they are locked in, with the front office locked in, what are we expecting from them heading into the 2025-26 season? But first, we got to get into a message from 5 Hour Energy. If you guys want to have 4 kids like me, it's time to fill up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold, grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink minus alcohol into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're seeking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need a little extra boost to stay sharp and energized. 5 Hour Energy is giving you everything you need to attack every goal you have in life, despite how much rest you may or may not get. Golf is all about good times and with good people and good flavors. Of course, the grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the beverage cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. This code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. Oh, I'm definitely getting a text on that ad read tomorrow, bro. There's no way to avoid it. David Locke may be hitting me up on that one personally. Like, hey.
It was just so great. If you want to turn 18 holes into 36, wow. What are we talking about here? I don't know about you, Haize, but
oh man,
I'm great with the putter. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, you got a newborn there.
2 in, baby.
Pat, what is the new what are your expectations? We talked about how the state of the roster was still developing. Clearly, this Bulls front office is now doing what they initially said they wanted to do, building organically through the draft, developing over time. What's your expectations for the coaching staff this year?
Listen, my expectation is to continue to develop. That's the most important thing you can do. You've got a young man on this team that it seems like everybody is very intrigued by around the league, and that a lot of players who are all-star caliber, superstar caliber players look at and go, "Oh, that guy might have a gene. He might have that little je ne sais quoi, if you will, that adds to being a great player." You got to make sure that pans out. Get the most out of Modest that you can. And the same thing for Noah Essengue. Listen, I love Josh Giddey. I love Kobe White. I love Ayo Dosunmu. They are who they are. Maybe Giddey we can get a little bit more out of. He's still young enough to kind of really see. Yeah. You say what?
I guess I was about to say Giddey's still 22. I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he's still young enough where maybe you can get a little bit more out of him. But to be honest with you, like, I don't really want that much more. Like, I guess I wouldn't complain about a backcourt of Josh Giddey and Kobe White both putting up 25 plus. But I truly want Giddey to be the lead facilitator on this team. I want him to get everybody involved. If you're doing that at a high clip, usually you're not the one getting the most amount of points out of that day, unless you become a Nikola Jokic type of player, and then we all shut the heck up, right? But when I look at what you have in 2 young pieces right now in Modest and what Noah could be, and I think Giddey is an asset to both of those guys becoming that, my only expectation for this coaching staff is for you to not mess up these young pieces you have on your team. And that's Josh Giddey included.
And that's kind of along the lines of what I was going to say. My expectations for them is to develop, and it seeming like you actually have a plan and a focus and an intention, but how you're using these guys. I want to see more cohesion with these players and that developing. Like it's not going to be perfect right away. It's not going to be that. It may not even be that at this season, but you want to see you moving towards that direction. You want to see you put more on Modest and a refinement on how you use him, how you understand where he's strong at, where his weaknesses are. Like you're starting to build a roster. If you really look at it, I know some Bulls fans are extremely down on this roster, but if you're really looking at this roster, you're starting to see how these pieces, how they could view these pieces fitting together. You got to have that vision from the coach. It's up to the coaching staff to put a plan to get these guys on the court together, to get these guys starting to aim towards that direction. Yeah. And so I hope that we see that. That's all I want to see between Billy Donovan and the refinement of the offense that we developed last season, which is, again, a modern offense. It fits the skill of this players more. Yeah. And then development. We got rid of Peter Patton, but we got two guys in Wes Unseld Jr. and Dan Craig who've both been heads of player development and have developed some pretty damn good players in the NBA. So I want to see that. That's really where I'm at right now. We're not at the place where I can say I expect a 5th seed, 6th seed, avoid the plan. Like, we're not at that yet. Maybe that may come over the season. Who knows? But as it stands right now, it's about developing. I want to see Kobe and Giddey as a backcourt. What you learned about those guys in last season and how now you can better balance their on-ball, off-ball. So, by the way, Pat, did you know that Josh Giddey was a 38, almost 39% catch and shoot three-point shooter last season?
I 100% did.
That's crazy.
His three-point numbers make no sense. That's probably the part that is why I'm more, I don't want to say more, why I understand what the Bulls are doing.
Yeah.
Because, right, what was it, Vucevic's first year here? No, his first year here was terrible. The year before he came to the Bulls.
His first year was that partial year. He actually played really good. We almost made the playoffs that year. Yeah, but the first full year was bad.
The partial year, his first full year here, right, it went away. But that partial year was like, oh, Vucevic is a shooting big. He's kind of got this figured out. He understands, but he's by himself. He can still operate in that same way. Everybody else is banged up. It was one of those, like, you never saw those three-point numbers again until you got into this last year, and basically they were like, yeah, Vooch, do everything you did before you got here, and let's see how this works out. Oh, look at that. You can shoot three-pointers again. It's why I understand why the Bulls are moving the way they're kind of moving, because I don't know if you can trust that Josh Giddey has just locked in being that three-point shooter.
Yeah, no, not off that run. You can't do it. Not off that run. That'd be ridiculous if you expect him to just be that based off that. He's gonna have to show that for the majority of the season before I personally feel safe in that.
I mean, he showed it over a whole season.
I mean, not really. The start of the season, Pat, he wasn't really shooting.
But I mean, like, what I mean is, like, his average. Now, I will say the game by games. I mean, they're very different, right? There's some games where he shot. I think didn't he have a 7 3-pointer game last year or something like that? Crazy. And there's other games where he went like 0 for 6. So it's a very up and down world. It's not something you can count on night in and night out. But I mean, he was with the Bulls all season. I give him his averages for the season. Like, that was what he did in the season. I just want to see it again.
Yeah.
And he was shooting way more in the second half of the season than when Zach LaVine was on the team. But to me, like, even that though, bro, like, keeping them in this same system, it's why I kind of, like, if you wanted to see Josh Giddey come back, if you want to see the Kobe White and Giddey backcourt, if you want to see Modest and how he was utilized, I think people think basketball is truly like 2K. Like, you just get to walk on the floor and you go, oh, this is where I'm supposed to stand. I know this. No, knowing a system like the back of your hand gives you an advantage.
Yeah.
They were all figuring that out last year. The Bulls had changed everything in how they wanted to play throughout the season. Remember the first game of the season, we shot like 37 three-pointers or 40. Mm-hmm. It was a crazy. We weren't shooting like that at the end of the season.
We had almost as many 40 three-point attempt games just last season as we had the whole entirety of the Bulls' history of being a team.
Yeah.
So there you go on that.
And they're changing and they're evolving, and you have to continue to build on that if you want to see things grow. It's why it makes sense to bring Billy Donovan back right now. Again, I think there's better out there in Taylor Jenkins, but to see what Giddey and Kobe can become in this system now that they know it like the back of their hand, to see what Modest can become in this system now that he knows it like the back of his hand. That's the difference that coming back with the same head coach makes.
Kobe White's role not to change from one season to another. first time we're able to say that. So
yeah, well, first his second season, I guess he was the same, and
first season he did end, I guess, starting, and then he started at the beginning of the second season. So
yeah.
I guess from the end of one to beginning, but he came into that he wasn't even starting at his rookie season. But yeah, I guess that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, we know that it hasn't been. It's been a very different world for everything with Kobe White. So even seeing him come back in that same role, seeing him utilized in that same way, like that's 100% it. Like that's why you make moves like this. So we'll see what ends up happening. Although there may be one major change on this Bulls team moving forward here, as per this interesting report. Although I feel like it's kind of being reaggregated. The Bulls may be interested in a buyout over trading Vooch away. We'll talk about that coming up next. No holes in that ad break.
If you drink a 5-hour energy shot, you can make one.
But with this, sometimes you got to make a hole. It's football season. Make a hole.
With that said, so Jake Fisher was on his Bleacher Report live stream, and he was asked specifically about Nikola Vucevic, is anything on the trade front, and his direct quote, because I was watching it live, the direct quote was, "At this point, a Vooch buyout is more likely than a trade." I took it as him saying it to highlight how unlikely a trade is, not to say that a buyout necessarily is likely, but of course. Yeah. Aggregation, reaggregation. We were through it a month ago where we said one thing and then by the end of it, it was 4 first-round picks. Like, that's not what we said. Yeah. I actually checked somebody on the page on Instagram. I was like, as the person who said this is not what we actually said. And then they deleted my comment, punk. But with that said,
we always got beef.
No, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we got it.
But so as far as that, hearing that a buyout is more likely than a trade, how do you feel about that, Pat?
I do wonder. Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't make sense to buy out Vooch at this point unless you truly just want him off the team. And then who are you, Zach? Or are you just trying to start Noah? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like Vooch, if you told Vooch, hey, we're going with the young kid. We want to bring you off of the bench. We want to still utilize you on this team. We want your veteran presence off the bench. You'll be paired up with Io. Why wouldn't Vooch want to do that?
But that's the thing. Noah's definitely not starting at center. I actually think if Noah does end up starting at the power forward and you move Modest to the 3, that actually helps Vooch quite a lot.
100%. Like, so, that's like none of it makes, like, I say that to say, like I said, like Noah being at the center, because like that's the only thing that makes sense to buy Vooch out. Like if you're going to put a young player there, or I guess if you're that high on Lachlan Ulbrich off the jump, like I maybe, like that'd be crazy.
I mean,
that would be crazy. But like that's the only reason it would make sense to buy Vooch out. Outside of that, what is he at? What's he got? 1 year left on this deal?
Yeah, this is the last season of his contract.
You either trade him at the deadline, which with no money on the books, he's an absolutely tradable asset, or you move, or you just let the season play out and you move on from him.
Yeah. And I think that's like, because like the Bulls, unless another trade pops up where they're getting a young center and Vooch is not part of that trade and they were trying to make space, I could see them maybe buy out then. Or Pat, I talked about this a little on Central too. The only other way that I see this necessarily happening is if Nikola Vucevic goes to the Bulls at the trade deadline and says like, hey, if you guys aren't able to move me, I really would like to join a team, a championship roster. Would you guys buy me out and allow me to go chase a championship? I do think AK and Eversley will respect that at that point after the trade deadline, depending on where the Bulls are. But I don't see Vooch necessarily asking for that either when he could just wait till the contract's up. So I just don't see it happen.
But that's what I mean. Like, it is. You would also have to have somebody that you think. I guess I do get what you're saying. Like, they would respect him wanting to get out. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that scenario playing out because it would make like, okay, Vooch, you've given us a ton of service. We don't have a spot for you that is a future spot. So you want to go chase a championship, we'll move on from you, buy you out on this deal. But even then, like, Vooch is the one giving up money. Like, are you just gonna give up all that money and be up out of here? Like that's the part for me that I do find confusing. And who's the person that's left on the trade market? Like the best center available left on the trade market or on the free agent market right now. That if you were going to bring somebody in, I mean, we could run Tristan Thompson back.
You know, I'm good on that. I'm kind of good on that.
I do it just so we can run back that title that Matt and Dave had right before we took over the channel, where it was like the Bulls get their enforcer. That was hilarious. Yeah, is that still the top video on this channel too? Hey, I
think we've had better ones since then. But it was because we stole it. We did. It was the Bulls get their goon, and we used it with the Pat Bev. We said the Bulls get their goon again.
Oh yeah. So. That's the one where it's like that would be the only reason to do it. So I'm again, the buyout doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that it makes sense to the Bulls at this point, and I don't see it happening. But I guess. That is still the number one video on this channel. We tied it. We tied it with the Scottie Pippen thumbnail.
Okay, fair enough.
And
that's a golden thumbnail.
We just missed it with our Kai Soto video. I miss Kai. What's he got going on?
Kai Soto wasn't cheat code there. Oh no, we passed it up. The Chicago Bulls trade Alex Caruso 19,000. You gotta look at the lives too.
Oh, okay. My bad. We probably that's right. We do a lot of live.
Yeah.
Oh, we passed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Put some respect on her name.
But yeah, man, what's Kai Soto got going on, man? Remember we was all kind of racial.
What do you mean? Wait, we got a new cheat code. We got Yuki.
Yeah, but he actually plays for us, and he's talented. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Where's he at right now? Zachary is his middle name. Didn't see that coming.
Kai Zachary Soto?
Kai Zachary Perlado Soto is a Filipino professional basketball player for the...
He's still getting 10 minutes per game?
Koshiga Alphas of the Japanese B-League.
And this was the guy that never mind. Anything left, Pat, before we get up out of here?
It's crazy, man. We was all kind of... I can't
monkeys,
even say
bro. They called us monkeys because we didn't think that this.
Bro, yeah, I didn't want to say it, but I was just like, man, like that was nuts, bro. That's insane. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. The irony of Kai Soto playing in a Japanese league and a Japanese guy being good enough to make the NBA team is not lost upon me. By the way, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at. Appreciate y'all for showing love.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Fubo TV. Basically, anywhere you want us, you can get us. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, y'all. Peace.
Apparently, except in Koshigaya. You can't get us there.